All right, we're officially recording now, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. Good evening or good morning from wherever you are right now. Welcome to the new graduate student orientation at Cal State Fullerton. I'm Amy Nelson, Executive Director of Graduate Studies at Cal State Fullerton, and I'm excited to be one of many people on campus who are honored to welcome you to graduate school, especially here on our campus. Congratulations on taking the big step to enter a graduate program, and thank you for choosing Cal State Fullerton. If you already received a degree or two from Cal State Fullerton and are returning, we're so glad you're back. And if you're new to Cal State Fullerton, I'm excited to welcome you to our community. I imagine you're all feeling lots of different emotions about starting graduate school in a couple of weeks. I hope I can provide some validation and comfort by saying whatever you're feeling, it's totally normal. I remember the feelings myself. So we have a team of folks who are just as excited to welcome you today, and we'll share some information that will hopefully help you feel better prepared for your first day and beyond. I want to thank our team in the Office of Graduate Studies who helped put this orientation together, and to our campus partners who you'll meet later on for being here and sharing their resources with you. We are excited to share some student resources with you during this orientation, but we are really only scratching the surface tonight. An hour and a half is really not enough time. We would have to keep you here for days to share information about all the resources that we offer our students, but we know you don't have time for that. So we're going to give you a sneak peek and then also share some digital resources and contacts in hopes that this will get you started, with what you need to be successful in your program. But if you remember nothing else from today's orientation, please remember this. You belong here, you earned your place here, and you can do this. And if you need help along the way, please reach out. Don't be afraid to ask for help. There are many people here who truly care that you have a positive and successful experience in graduate school here at Cal State Fullerton. So please reach out to us if you need anything. Here's our agenda for the next 90 minutes or so, kind of short and sweet, but we do have a lot of information to share with you. We will have time for questions at the end, but you are welcome to post your questions in the chat throughout the orientation, and we'll do our best to keep up and answer as they come in. We will use the raise hand feature at the end if you want to ask your question, but feel free to use the Q&A or chat. And like I said, we'll try to keep up. We know lots of things are going to come in. We have a few folks here that are going to be working on that during the presentation. So please be patient with us. We will eventually get to your question. We are also recording this session and we'll follow up with tonight's orientation with an email that will include a link to the recording, a resource guide of student services, as well as the cliff notes, essentially, of the information we're about to share with you. I also want to mention a few other resources I would encourage you to use. First, your program advisors, faculty, and staff. They're probably the most important resource during your time in graduate school. They really know your specific program the best, and they are also connected to all the CSUF resources. So if you need anything, they should be able to point you in the right direction. Each of your programs may also host their own orientation. Some of you may have already attended one, so please be sure to attend those if they're offered. Not all programs do have a separate orientation, so don't worry if you haven't heard anything, but definitely reach out to your program advisor if you have any questions about that. Also, we have a ton of resources on our website. There are other websites, obviously, at Cal State Fullerton as well. So please utilize these whenever needed. As I mentioned before, we will be emailing a link to this recording and other resources. These will be available on our Graduate Studies Orientation website, which we'll link in the chat. This website currently has information from last year's orientation, but it will be updated after this evening. Finally, we also encourage you to engage with our social media platforms. The QR code there on the screen is our Graduate Studies Center Instagram page. Please feel free to follow us. You'll get lots of fun information there. You'll hear more about this later in the presentation, but you'll find wonderful resources from all over our campus on social media platforms like Instagram and LinkedIn and others. These are a great way to stay connected and build your professional network. All right, so we're going to get started with information from our team in the Office of Graduate Studies. Karen Sang from our admissions evaluator team will begin with some important reminders. Take it away, Karen.
Thank you, Amy. Hi, everyone. Welcome. My name is Karen. I'm an admissions evaluator at Office of Graduate Studies. Today, I'm going to talk about transcripts and degree verification. Next slide, please. So if you have not already, please log into your student portal. The icons you'll see tasks, TASKS, click on that and you'll see your to-do item list. For everyone, it is required that everyone has earned a bachelor's degree, because that is required for a graduate program. Now, if you attend an institution, so a college that's in United States, you'll submit a final official transcript with the degree conferral information on the transcript. So your transcript literally will be your bachelor's degree transcript. On there, it'll say you earned a bachelor's degree, your program that you've been awarded or conferred the date. And that would be all you need to submit for a final official bachelor's degree. Now, some students, you are required to submit more than just the bachelor's degree transcript, and that will be on your to-do island list. Now, if you attend an institution that's outside the United States, what you're going to submit is not only the transcript mark sheet, you also need to submit a document called the bachelor's degree certificate. Now, if it's the final official degree certificate, it will not state provisional on that degree certificate. If it does, that means it's not a final official. A final official will have the school name, your name that you earned, conferred, awarded the degree, the date you conferred, the institution with the sealed and signature on. If you have any questions on our Office of Graduate Studies website, so at the last bullet point on this slide, it says FAQ. If you click on that, it will take you directly to our Office of Graduate Studies website. There is a fact sheet with questions and answers, and it will address degree certificates, official transcripts, and mark sheets. Oh, Amy, were you going to show us? But that's what you can look at if you have any questions. And you can always email us or put it in the chat right now if you have questions. Next slide, please. Once you log into your student portal and you do click on the task icon, you will see your to-do item list. Now, the box that's in red that says official college transcript, if it lists one, that means you have one transcript. If it lists two, you have two transcripts. If I literally click on it, it will show you the institution, the college name of the transcript. For example, I have one official college transcript. I click on it and it's going to show me I need Saddleback college transcript. That means I would need to submit a final official Saddleback college transcript. Below that, it has the due date. If it says 7/5/2025, so July 15 of 2025, that means that was the due date. For anyone currently with to-do items, and it shows 10/1 of 2025, which is October 1st of 2025, that means your to-do item, the transcript or document, you don't have to submit it until by October 1st. But if you choose to submit it after October 1st, you will have an Office of Graduate Study hold. An Office Graduate Study hold will restrict you from registering for the next term. So you won't let you register for spring 2026 when spring opens. If you have any questions, please ask us. Now on the top right, it says no holds in official transcript. That means I don't have any holds, but I have one college transcript I need to submit. If it does say at hold, it might actually say, some of you, if you log into your student portal, it might actually say graduate official document. That means we have your unofficial transcript. And right now, you have a hold, and that prevents you from actually registering for fall 2025. So those of you who haven't registered and you have a hold, that is why, because we need your official transcript for you to register for fall. Next slide, please. Those of you, if you look like this, which is no holds and no to-do items, that means you're all set. You don't need to submit any transcript, no documents. You have everything that we need. Thank you, everyone. Have a great fall semester. Thank you, Amy.
And I'm up next. Hi, everyone. My name is Carolyn. First off, congratulations and welcome to Cal State Fullerton. I'm one of the evaluators here in the Office of Graduate Studies. So in an effort to make sure that you're well equipped for this milestone, I want to mention just some of the graduate student policies that you should be aware of. Amy, next slide, please. So first, I need to mention that it is the student's responsibility to seek out and become familiar with graduate policy. You can find university policies on the Graduate Studies website by locating the Current Students tab and navigating to Academic Policies and Procedures. Please read through the policies and refer to them throughout your academic career. You don't have to memorize them, just be familiar with them, as you'll need to refer to them at some point while you're earning your degree. Next slide, please. So let's discuss grades and grade point average requirements. University policy requires a minimum of C grades for graduate classes. However, some programs might have higher grade requirements, so please check with your departments to confirm your minimum grade requirements. There are two areas in which the grade point average must be a minimum of 3.0, which is the same as a B average. One area is on the study plan coursework, and this includes only the coursework that's required for your degree. It does not include prerequisites. And the other area is graduate coursework. So this includes all 500 level courses, 400 level courses that are eligible for graduate credit, and any transfer coursework that has been approved to transfer from another university or from extended education. You'll find both GPAs listed on your Titan Degree Audit, or TDA, and my colleague is going to talk a little bit more about TDAs in just a moment. By the way, you might be confused on what is meant by 400 level courses that are eligible for graduate credit. So many 400 level courses can be taken for graduate credit, which means that as a grad student that's in a 400 level class, you'll be required to complete an additional coursework that's required above and beyond an undergrad student. So this course description in the current Fullerton catalog will indicate whether it's eligible for grad credit or not. So always just double check the catalog and with your graduate advisor before you plan to enroll in any 400 level coursework. Next slide, please. All graduate students must maintain continuous enrollment in every fall and spring semester until the degree was awarded. So this is different than the undergraduate policy. Some programs require summer enrollment as well, so check with your department to find out if that might apply to you. This continuous enrollment policy is very different than undergrad, because in undergrad you could step away for a semester or so, but graduate you must maintain enrollment. So we have a couple different options available for you, but it will depend on how far along you are in your program. If you find yourself in a situation that prevents you from enrolling in a semester, you can submit a request for a leave of absence. You must meet certain requirements to be granted a leave of absence, so be sure to check the qualifying criteria on the leave of absence on the Graduate Studies website. Typical reasons for a leave of absence might be illness, active duty and armed forces, work-related issues, or others. Please note that all requests for a leave of absence must be submitted before the start of the semester that it's being requested. For Grad 700, students that are near the end of their program who have enrolled in all coursework required for the degree and have no other coursework to enroll in may qualify for enrollment in Grad 700. This course is designed for students who need an extra semester to finish a project or thesis or take a comp exam. And this is simply a placeholder with no units, no attendance, and is at a drastically reduced fee. So now let's talk about the very end when you're in your last semester and you're ready to earn your degree. I know that's kind of far off, but it is something just to have at the back of your mind when you're ready to apply for graduation. All students must apply for a graduation check and pay the grad check fee. Submission of the grad check is the process by which you communicate to the university that we need to review your record for the award of your degree. Our office will begin reviewing for your record for graduation during the semester for which you applied for a grad check. Please be sure to check your TDA to make sure everything is in order. As a general timeline, you must submit the grad check before the semester that you plan to finish the degree requirements. The actual deadlines to submit the grad check can be found on the Grad Studies website under Current Students and Important Dates tab. You'll receive a reminder before every semester of the deadline to apply for a grad check, as well as instructions for applying. So you don't need to worry about remembering when the date is going to be in a year or two. The email will be sent to the student email account that you have on file. And just as a reminder, most communication will go to your student email. So please be sure to check that on a regular basis. And just make sure that your address and phone number are also updated on there as well, because the address is where your diploma will be sent. And we don't want that getting lost in the mail. So in summary, I've covered the policies and procedures that are sometimes misunderstood for our graduate students. Please remember there are more policies that apply to you as a graduate student, so it's best to become familiar with them. It's all available on the Graduate Studies website. I wish you the best of luck, and I hope you enjoy your time here at Cal State Fullerton. Thank you.
All right, next section is for me with the TDA. Hello, everyone. I'm Stephanie, and I am the Support Services Specialist here in the Office of Graduate Studies. What I do is I work on the technical side of the Titan degree audit, which is what we commonly refer to here on campus as the TDA. So today I'm going to talk with you about what the TDA is and why it is important for you as you progress through your graduate program. Next slide, please. All right, so the TDA is an online advising tool that, when it's run, it generates an audit of your studies. It is the official document that the university uses to track your successful completion throughout your graduate program. Simply put, it tells you what courses you've already taken that applied for your study plan, what courses you still need to take, and the other policy requirements that are required for graduation, as my colleague Carolyn had mentioned earlier. So things like your GPA checks, the resident unit requirement, and more. So it condenses all of these things into one place that you could access at any time so that you can always know that you are on track for graduation as well. If you'd already completed your undergraduate degree here at Cal State Fullerton, then you are already familiar with the TDA. On the surface, it looks the same, and you'll access it the same way as well, online through your student portal. Besides the obvious difference that the courses are different from your undergraduate TDA and your graduate TDA, your points of contact will differ as well. Next slide, please. All right, so for graduate students, your primary point of contact will be your designated graduate advisor. Every degree program has a designated advisor who is a faculty member within that department who can advise you on what courses to take next and who can assist you with updating, correcting, and interpreting your TDA. So questions like what classes you need to take overall, or specifically which classes you should take each semester, that's going to be something that you'll want to consult with your graduate advisor with. You can find who your graduate advisor is by visiting our graduate studies website, fullerton.edu/graduate, and just scroll on down to the bottom where it has the master's degrees and doctoral degree programs buttons. Just go ahead and click on those, and you'll be able to locate the contact information for your advisor. Next slide, please. All right. So we do encourage you to meet with your advisor for academic advising pretty often. Your advisor will be the one who reviews your TDA with you and makes sure that the requirements are still clearing so that you are making semester by semester progress towards graduation. They can help you understand what the different sections mean. Every program has different course requirements, and some program requirements are a little bit more complicated than others. So that's going to be something that you'll want to talk with your advisor about. They'll also show you maybe why certain classes met the requirements for your study plan, and they'll also explain to you how to fix it if it didn't. Your TDA also shows transfer credits that have been approved onto your study plan, but in order to get them approved in the first place, that's something that you'll need to have your graduate advisor to sign off on. So in conclusion, the TDA is meant to serve as an online tool that you and your graduate advisor can access at any time to view your progress towards degree completion. It isn't meant to replace your advisor, but rather to serve as a starting point for academic advisement. It's really important that your TDA remains correct and up to date with any changes in curriculum that you and your advisor have agreed upon. So things like maybe taking alternate electives, transfer credits that I had mentioned. We always want to make sure that your TDA remains up to date with that information so that you don't run into any nasty surprises when it gets close to graduation time, because those are not the fun types of surprises. So just go ahead. We always recommend that you check your TDA at least once a semester to make sure that you're still on track towards degree completion. And that wraps it up for my section. If you do have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the Q&A and I'll make sure to answer them. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. My name is Elliot. I'm the University Thesis Dissertation Reader. I'm going to briefly talk about what a thesis and dissertation are, how graduate studies is involved, sort of give you a heads up on all of that. All right. So if you are going to be taking a 598 or a 698 course, then you're taking a thesis or a dissertation. Um, Colloquially, casually, sometimes students take a 597 project and refer to it as a thesis. Not going to police your language, totally fine, but know that we do have different requirements for 598s versus 597s, also apply to our 698 courses. So if you're taking a 598 or a 698, you'll be writing a paper and your paper will be published by the university online. It will be maintained in our library, kind of a cool thing you get to go through. In order to do that, you're going to submit your paper to the Office of Graduate Studies, and then I'm going to work with you and review it. So we'll talk just briefly about what that process is like. The first thing you're going to be doing is writing your paper. Should be no problem. Shouldn't take more than a couple of hours. Most people will be doing a defense within their department. Graduate Studies, the Office of Graduate Studies, is not involved in the defense process. About 2 years ago, I think now, the defense became optional. So most of our departments do have defenses for a 598 thesis course, but not all of them. Once you've defended your paper, made any revisions that your committee has requested, you'll submit it to Graduate Studies. You and I will work together over the course of, could be anywhere from a week up to 3 or 4 weeks to get your paper looking good, working on the accessibility, on the formatting, all of those things. And then finally, I will help you finalize it and publish it through the university. Okay, next slide, please. All right, so when you're writing your paper, the very first thing you're going to do is you're going to go onto our thesis website and read through the thesis dissertation manual and template. Whether you're a 598 or a 698 student, you're going to be using the same manual and the same template. Doesn't matter what department you're with. If you're taking a 598 or a 698, you will be using those two documents. They get updated about once every 2 years. Lately, they've been really minor changes. We have a minor update coming out in the next week or two. So check in, make sure that you're using the most current version. Specifically, please make sure you get info directly from our website rather than relying on files that get emailed to you from previous students, from faculty, or whatever, just to make sure you have the most up-to-date version. So you're going to write your paper, you will defend your paper if your department has a defense, and then you're going to make all of your committee requested edits. Because at your defense, your committee might request that you make changes to your paper, we always recommend that you schedule your defense at least 2 weeks ahead of that semester's deadline. I'll talk about deadlines in a little bit and what they mean, but just keep in mind it's always good to have a little padding, a little extra room. During this part of the process, you're going to paste your work into our template. There are instructions for all of that in the template itself, and you're going to format all the work. Whether you want to do that as you're writing your paper, right before you defend, right after you defend, it's up to you, but you'll do it before you submit your paper to us for review. Okay. Now, once you've submitted it, you're going to submit it online using our submission form. You don't have to run around campus and get signatures from everybody. It's all done online. We're going to contact your committee members, which will be your chair and 2 or 3 extra committee members, have them sign off, say your paper's good to go, they're happy with the content of it. And then I'm going to review your paper. So the 3 things I look out for are formatting of the paper, what the text looks like on the page, making sure it meets university requirements in the template, all of that stuff. I'm going to check the accessibility of your paper so that we wind up with a durable PDF that can be used by people who use assistive technologies. And then finally, I'm going to check your citations and your references. So if you're using APA, using Chicago, that's up to your committee what format they'd like you to use. And I'll just sort of help tighten everything up, make sure you meet those requirements. Next, please. Okay. Once you and I together agree you've met all the requirements, you're happy with the content of the paper, you don't have any major changes, then your paper's ready to publish. That I take care of on my end. For our publication, we use the interdisciplinary database called Zenodo. It's an online publishing platform. You look at it, it looks a lot like ProQuest or JSTOR or Research Direct or Archive, any of those. And then we also publish it on ScholarWorks. ScholarWorks is another platform that's used by all of the CSUs, or almost all of the CSUs, to publish their student work. We no longer require physical copies of your book, of your thesis, mostly to save money. They were pretty expensive, and we weren't getting them accessed so much at the library. So we are digital only and digital first. Okay. Finally, graduate studies is going to be alerted that you've met all of your requirements so that that final check to make sure that you've published everything, that you're good to go, all of that is taken care of. Again, I'll handle everything on my end. So once you give me the thumbs up and I give you the thumbs up, you can stop worrying about it. Okay. Next one, please. All right. So as I said earlier, we are going to be launching a new template in the next couple of weeks. Just doing kind of my last checks of everything. I doubt anybody is submitting for fall 2025, but to give you an idea, our fall 2025 submission deadline, that's when you have to give it to graduate studies for me to review, is November 21st, 2025. That's pretty typical. Fall is around the middle to end of November. Spring is the middle to end of April. And summer is usually the first week of July. We post those deadlines on our website, and they're up about a year ahead of time. Pretty soon, we're going to be posting all of our 2026 deadlines. Okay. If you ever want to meet with me, whether you're working on your paper and have questions, you haven't started your paper, you just want an overview of things, you just want to say hi, I'm available most Mondays from 6 to 7 on Zoom. If you need to meet with me outside of that, you can email me. I'm not available following our submission deadlines for a couple weeks because I'm just working on getting everything done. Okay. Then down at the bottom, you'll see my email. Please feel free to email me. It's easier for me in general to work with students over email. Then I can give you really good notes and make sure I'm not speaking too quickly and saying something confusing. Then finally, down at the bottom is our thesis dissertation website. All right. So I will be around if you have any questions in the chat. Thank you.
Great. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dr. Alexandra Turonis. My pronouns are she, her, hers. My role in the Office of Graduate Studies is I serve as a Graduate Studies Center Senior Program Coordinator, more on the GSC and a little bit. We're going to be talking a little bit about funding opportunities, awards, and other events to keep an eye out for this coming academic year. Next slide, please. So a couple that we would like for you to keep an eye out for, one of them is the Graduate Equity Fellowship. This award ranges from $500 to $2,000 and can be applied towards your tuition. This is a need-based fellowship with the goal of increasing diversity in graduate education. This award gives priority to students who are continuing on to pursue a PhD or faculty career later down the road. There are also a variety of other university and CSU scholarships. These will vary widely in terms of the amount of aid that they offer, as well as the criteria for submission. Please note that these deadlines and application requirements will vary. We tend to post these throughout the year on our Instagram, as well as sending them out in our Office of Graduate Studies newsletter that goes out every month. There's also the Giles T. Brown Thesis Support Award. This is a thesis research grant that's awarded at the beginning of the year, and it offers support for software, equipment, and other materials needed to pursue your research. There are also two other programs down at the bottom of this slide here that are administered through the CSU office. So one of them is the Sally Casanova program, also known as the pre-doctoral program. This is for students who are interested in pursuing doctoral programs throughout the country. So this offers $5,000 plus additional funding to pursue a summer research opportunity. This is a great experience for students who are looking to go and pursue PhD programs later down the road. Next, we have the Chancellor's Doctoral Incentive Program. This is for students who are either currently in the process of applying to doctoral programs for the next academic year or who already are established in a doctoral program. This is specifically for folks who are interested in returning to the CSU system as future faculty members. There are a number of different perks associated with this program. Two that I want to briefly highlight here is one, you have access to a forgivable loan program, as well as access to additional funding to travel to conferences, to pursue your dissertation research, and so on. Next slide, please. There's also the Giles T. Brown Thesis Excellence Award. This is awarded in the spring. It acknowledges contributions in original research within your field. And then this is for folks who are completing their thesis that academic year. We also have the Grad Slam. This is a 3-minute thesis presentation that occurs in the spring semester, and you're able to win up to $1,000 in prizes for the winners. The first and second place winners also have the opportunity to compete in a CSU-wide competition. We also have the Cal State Fullerton Student Research Competition. This is for folks to be able to share their scholarly work and see some of the other amazing research that is happening on campus. Next slide, please. I also want to take a moment to highlight the Graduate Studies Center. Next slide, please. We are located over in the library on the first floor. We're open Monday through Thursday, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m., and on Fridays from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. There are a number of reasons why you might want to check out the Graduate Study Center. In particular, we are most often used by students as a graduate student studying space on campus with a variety of seating. We also have available a private study room that you can book. We're able to accommodate up to 3 students comfortably within that space, and you're able to book that for 3 hours a day, or 3 hours a day maximum. We also offer snacks and coffee items during events as well as during exam periods. So something to keep an eye out for if you're ever on campus. We also have a microwave, refrigerator, and sink. So if you're on campus for a couple of hours, if you need a place to stash your food while you're in between classes, it's a great place to check out. We also offer 1-hour virtual writing appointments with skilled writing consultants. So if you are interested in receiving writing support, you're able to book 1 appointment per week. We also offer a variety of different events and workshops throughout the academic year that are meant to support your personal academic and professional development. A couple that we've offered in the past year include resume drop-ins, support navigating interviews, different mental health resources, and so on. Next slide, please. When the academic year begins, I recommend checking out our GSC webpage. Here you'll be able to find our calendar events as well as access our reservation systems for both the private study room as well as our writing appointments. Next slide, please. As mentioned earlier in the presentation, one of the best ways to stay up to date with us is by following us on Instagram. This is a great way to see what programs we have coming up, as well as to learn about other opportunities that are relevant to graduate students here on campus. Allowing folks a moment to get the QR code, go for it. And so with this, as mentioned earlier, we have a number of different resources on campus, and we could be here for many, many hours if we were to go through each and every one of them. A couple of student support services that we would like to draw your attention to. Next slide, please. One after that. So in order to capture some of those resources that I mentioned, please check out our resource guide. We will be sending this after today's orientation, but we also have the QR code that is shown here. This has been updated for the fall 2025 semester. So this is a great way to learn about all the different resources that Cal State Fullerton has to offer. And in particular, this delves into some of the resources that you have available to you as a graduate or professional student here on campus. Next slide, please. So the first resource that I would like to quickly spotlight here is our basic needs services. This is for students who are facing some sort of unforeseen economic hardship and demonstrated current need. Forms of support that are offered through their office include food support, temporary housing, grant funds, access to hygiene products. They also have a closet where you're able to access gently worn professional attire as well. We also have Titan Health. They offer a wide variety of different services, including clinical health services, health promotion services, and as well as confidential advocacy services. The Career Center is also another great resource to keep an eye out for during the academic year. They offer a number of different events. You're able to connect with different folks who specialize in some of the individual areas that you all are pursuing degrees in. They're also a really great resource if you're looking for career advising, support working on some of those application materials, accessing job and internship fairs, and so on. For those of you who are military connected, we also have the Veterans Resource Center here on campus. They offer their own studying space, scholarship opportunities, as well as support navigating and utilizing VA benefits. And then finally here, we have the Office of Financial Aid. They provide a number of different resources on how to access financial aid, as well as providing support navigating some of the different policies and regulations at the federal, state, and university level. Next slide, please. To reach out to financial aid, we have some more details here on this page. They're able to support students in person at their location over in Gordon Hall. They're also available via phone at the time shown here on this slide. You can also send them a message on their fullerton.edu/financial aid website. Down towards the bottom of that page, you will find different links to be able to send them a message using their message platform. Next slide, please. And then last but not least, we highly encourage you, if you have not yet already, obtain your student ID here on campus, also known as your Titan card. This is used to access a variety of different services on campus. You are able to access the Titan card both in person as well as obtain your Titan card remotely. I won't be delving too much into the details that are shown here on the screen, but in summary, this encompasses going online to their website, filling out an online application. If you are in person and can come to campus, there is a procedure for you to follow. You can pick up the card on the Pollock Library South first floor. If you are looking to obtain your Titan card remotely, they have additional steps in place to be able to verify your identity, and they'll provide further instructions on how you can obtain your Titan card.
That is all for our team in the Office of Graduate Studies, our announcements, updates, resources, all that good stuff. Next, we're going to jump into some of our partners across campus and the services they provide to our students. So I'd like to invite Dr. Annie Petrosian to present some information about our counseling and psychological services area. I think Annie's there. Are you still on, Annie?
Can you hear me now?
Oh, yes, we can. Sorry about that.
No, 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 that was all on me. Thank you so much. So let me start over. My name is Annie Petrosian. I'm a licensed psychologist and a staff member at Counseling and Psych Services on campus. I'm also the liaison between CAPS and the Office of Graduate Studies. So you will frequently see me at the GSE hanging out and hopefully getting to know some of you as you're studying there. Just wanted to talk a little bit about the range of mental health support that we provide for you while you're students here. Next slide, please. Thank you so much. So I wanted to talk about first the kind of routine mental health support that we provide, then the crisis support that we have available, and then some preventive programming that we also provide. So first and foremost, we are a full service mental health clinic right on campus. So we provide individual and group therapy. We also provide psychiatric support. So we have 2 psychiatric providers who can do, again, the full range of medication. We also provide referrals. We have 2 case managers, so we can provide referrals for longer term or intensive therapy and assessment services. So things like inpatient support or intensive outpatient, etc. And we provide a full range of support and educational programming on all mental health concerns as well. As part of this, we have both formal therapy groups as well as informal drop-in groups. So for example, I run a weekly grad student support group that is drop-in, informal, there for you to make use of when you need some additional support. Our office hours are Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. And that's also when our front desk support staff is available to answer routine questions as well as do all of our scheduling. Our physical location is just across North State College Boulevard at 1111 State College Boulevard. We have both the first floor and the third floor for CAPS, and so you would check in on the first floor. And we also provide appointments by Zoom if that is more convenient for you. Our services are free and confidential. And I often hear one of the first questions that I get is 10 sessions, right? I get 10 sessions, and then what happens? Do I need to pay for services, or do you send me off campus? So I just want to clear up a little bit about our therapy services. So we don't actually have session limits. We make decisions on length of treatment based on what you're presenting with and what services we have available. So please come in. Please don't hesitate to call, make an appointment, meet with a counselor, and figure out what would make the most sense for you. We do know, based on our numbers every year, the reports that we run, that the majority of students who do come in and make use of our services end up using about 5 sessions over the course of the year. But everyone's a little bit different, so that number can look different for each person. I also wanted to take a minute and talk about our crisis support. Now, this is crisis based on how you would define it. So we really want you to be aware that we're available 24/7. Sometimes life happens, not during office hours. And so if you're struggling with anything where it would make the most sense for you to talk with someone immediately without waiting for the next business day, etc., please call our main number. We have crisis clinicians available 24/7. So that includes weekends, that includes holidays, that includes when campus is closed. You will always be talking with a live human being who is a mental health clinician. So we don't use any AI, we don't use any text or chatting. You're talking to a live human being. During business hours, you're welcome to talk to the front desk staff and then be connected to the crisis counselor, but you're also welcome to walk in. So our crisis counselors are also available during business hours in person. Again, you would go to the first floor and check in at 1111 North State College Boulevard. And I also wanted to take a minute and talk a little bit about the wellness room and some of the preventive programming that we have at CAPS. For some students, they may become very familiar with us. For some students, they may only become familiar with us through crisis support. And for some students still, they may be also familiar with us through our preventive programming. On the third floor of Titan Hall, which is that 1111 building, we have a wellness area that has massage chairs, nap pods, coloring books, a self-help library, sand tray, drop-in yoga groups. So all sorts of self-care and stress management programming that you're welcome to make use of, regardless of whether or not you're making use of any formal therapy support. So there's also wellness ambassadors who are there to help you access all of those resources in the wellness room. They can help you figure out how to reserve a nap pod, a massage chair, all of those things. So please don't hesitate to reach out to them. I wanted to share our Instagram, so at CSUF CAPS, as well as our website, since over the next couple of weeks is when a lot of the specific dates and times and locations of our programming is going to start being uploaded onto our website. Next slide, please. And I also wanted to share, again, this is the full range of services that we offer. This is the website where you can find this menu. Feel free to click around. Feel free to ask any questions. Again, our front desk staff is well capable of answering these questions. They will not answer clinical questions for you, but certainly any general questions you may have, they are definitely equipped to handle. And of course, you're welcome to reach out to me as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Annie. Next, we have one of our reference and instruction librarians, John Hickok. Excuse me, John Hickok. Are you there, John? I don't know if you're speaking, John, but I don't hear you. Let me go to maybe John jumped off and it's coming back on. While we're waiting, I saw just a quick question about the mental health services. Just to confirm, Annie, the mental health services are free for students, correct?
Yes. So all of our routine therapy support is free for students. The only time you might be charged would be if you were to be prescribed psychotropic medication and to fill that prescription, you might be charged. Typically, our prescribers provide lower cost medications if they're able to. And so on average, that might be between $5 and $10 a month.
Thank you. And then there's also a question about weekend availability. What would you recommend for someone who might need support during the weekend?
So again, if it were crisis support, I would certainly encourage them to call our main number and speak with a clinician. However, if they're looking for routine therapy support during the weekends, and sometimes I'll get this question around evenings as well, that's when we would work with you and probably our case managers to connect with area agencies that are able to provide those weekend and evening services. So they are definitely available.
Wonderful. Thanks, Annie.
Absolutely.
All right. John, are you there? I see him online. Maybe he's having some technical difficulties. All right, maybe we will. Actually, John is our last presenter for our orientation, so we can jump into some questions just in case we're having some technical difficulties. I think we have answered all of the questions in the chat so far. If there are any questions, let's see, I see some in the chat now. Yes, just as a reminder, we are recording this session. And so after this evening, we will upload that onto our website, and then we will email it out to you as well. So you will have access to this recording and the resources we've been sharing. I see. I thought I saw a question about services through CAPS. Yes, any student, undergrad, graduate, credential, any student is welcome to seek services at CAPS. Even if you're a counseling grad student in the counseling program, we all need support occasionally, even if you are actually going to become a counselor. So definitely reach out to CAPS if you need any of their services. There is a winter term, but I don't know how many graduate courses are offered during that. It is very limited courses in terms of availability, but we do have a winter session at Cal State Fullerton. Check back in and see if John is available. John, can you hear us? I have a couple of other announcements I wanted to share as well. And we'll go back to answering any of the questions you have. But thank you everyone for your information that you've shared so far. Before we go back into answering some of your questions, we do have some time. We did end our presentation a little bit earlier, so we have lots of time for questions. But first I wanted to remind you all, if you haven't yet accepted your offer of admission, please do that as soon as possible so that you can register for your fall classes. If you still need to accept your offer but can't, please reach out to your program advisor so they can help you extend your deadline for the intent to enroll. If you haven't yet registered for fall classes, I also encourage you to do that as soon as possible. Obviously, we're just a couple of weeks away from the start of the fall semester. So the sooner you do that, the sooner you'll have access to our online classroom portal, which is Canvas. And many of your instructors use that to communicate with you and give you course materials. And you can't get your course materials if you're not registered. So please remember to accept your offer. And if you don't accept and register for fall classes, remember that your offer of admission is only good for this fall 2025 term. So you would be discontinued if you don't enroll in at least one course. And so you would have to reapply for a future term if you are discontinued. I will put the link in the chat for our registration guide. If you haven't registered yet, we have a great website with information about how to do that, instructions on registration. There's also deadlines for registration listed on that page, and lots of important information about fees and fee deadlines and all of that good stuff. So please make note of that and your payment due date so you're not dropped from classes. And please check your student portal to ensure you have actually enrolled in the courses you need. Sometimes students don't realize they haven't gotten through the entire registration process, but they think they have, and they think they're fully enrolled in all of their courses. And then they get to the end of the term and they realize, oh my gosh, I'm not getting credit for any of these classes. So please make sure that you are fully enrolled and that you see all of the courses you intended to enroll in your student portal. And then lastly, please check your Cal State Fullerton student email frequently. This is how everyone at Cal State Fullerton will communicate with you and send you updates and important messages. It's the only email we use to communicate with our students. So if you're not checking it, you'll miss important information and reminders and updates and things like that. So please, please, please make sure you check that probably, if not weekly, I would maybe check it daily, depending on your program. You may need to check it more than that, but check it often. All right. Let's see if John is online yet. John, are you ready to present information about the library resources? All right, let's see where we are with our questions. I see a couple of questions about the tuition and deadlines. The link I posted in the chat there, let's see, I'll post that link again so you can see that. There's a great website on our registrar's page with all of those details, so make sure you check that out. I believe financial aid offers are going to be dispersed next week, but please check the financial aid website or contact them for more information. I believe some aid has already been dispersed, but I know they're planning to do, according to a meeting I was in this morning, actually, there's a lot of aid that will be dispersed next week sometime. So check out your email. There could be things that you have to do as well to ensure that you're receiving your aid. So again, check your Fullerton email to make sure you're not missing any important messages. Your internship coordinator is, yes, probably specific to your department. Not every program requires an internship and as part of the program. If it's something that you are interested in pursuing, but it isn't a requirement, we do have a Center for Internships and Community Engagement you can also check in with. But if an internship is a requirement of your program, then you likely have a faculty advisor who can assist you with that. I'm not sure about deadlines to accept financial aid grants. However, the sooner you accept any of your awards, the sooner they will be dispersed. But I would check with financial aid about the specifics of that. And let's see, I see if I'm being considered for a waiver, will it be decided before aid is released? I'm not 100% sure. I would check with whoever is offering you the waiver or with financial aid. Are graduate students subject to a minimum unit requirement similar to their undergraduate journey, or are they only expected to enroll in courses pertaining to their program? Generally, in terms of a minimum unit requirement, there is a minimum unit requirement to receive aid. You must, financial aid, you must enroll in at least 6 units to receive any financial aid. But in terms of just progressing in your program, I would definitely check with your program advisor because sometimes courses aren't offered every term. And so if you aren't taking a certain sequence of courses, you may not be able to have anything to take in the next semester. So every program is a little bit different. And you
Hello,
will work.
hello. Can you hear
Oh,
me? Can you hear me?
hi, John. Yes, we can hear you.
Hold on a second. I'm just adjusting my volume here. Okay.
Okay,
Now
thank
then, can you?
you.
Okay. Oh, we're a little early. Am I up already?
Yes, you are.
Great. Okay, just one second. I was finishing up something, didn't quite realize I had to go early. So hold on a second. There we go. All right, now let me turn on my camera as well. Okay, there. Hello, everybody. So I'm happy to go ahead and get started now. My name is John Hickok. I am one of the library faculty here. I'm actually in my office at the Pollock Library right now. So for the next few minutes, I want to go and talk to you about the library. I know some of you may be thinking, ugh, library, so boring. No, 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 don't think that way. I'm going to show you some really cool things, especially at the graduate level. You're definitely going to want to know this. So, let's see. Do I have share screen or should I just say next each time?
You can just say next, John, and I'll advance for you.
Okay. All right. Very good, Amy. So go ahead. Next. So our Pollock Library here is awesome. Look at this beautiful photo. This is the north side of the library at dusk. Wow, it's so beautiful. We have a massive library. We have four huge floors on the north side and six additional floors on the south side. There's two wings or sides of the library. So that's 10 floors altogether. Plus, if you count the two basements, that's 12. It's massive. We have one of the biggest Cal State libraries in the entire CSU system. Okay, Amy, next. Okay, so there's five library things. Since this is very brief, I'm only going to be talking to you for just 10 minutes or less. I'm only going to just cover the five top things that I want to share with you. Okay, next. Okay, number one, the biggest number one thing is finding articles. So as graduate students, and I realize it will vary from major to major. Like if you're a engineering graduate student, you may not be needing to dig up and find as many articles as if you are, say, a history master's student. But all majors have to do, at least at some point, you got to do a lit review, no matter what your major is, and find scholarly articles. So that's why I put this as number one. Number one, finding articles. On our library homepage, and this is a screenshot right here. You can see the screenshot. This is what our library homepage looks like. There's two menu items that you'll see on our homepage for finding, and that's how you find articles. The one right in the middle of the screen on our library homepage is called One Search. You got a box right there. And then the other one, and below it, you can see to the left, lower left there, is called Databases. Yep, those are the two ways that you find articles. Now, what's the difference? What's the difference between One Search and Databases? I'll explain. Okay, Amy, next. For One Search searches articles in our whole library collection, all of our electronic journal articles, all majors all at once. Okay, so in this example right here, this is what One Search looks like. It's just a search menu, similar like Google. You type in your keywords, and then it will yield or deliver articles from all majors journals. So in this example, I put taxes, growth, small business. Okay, let's say I was an MBA major, getting a master's in accounting or taxation or business or something from the College of Business. So I type that in, and you can see the first one that comes up there out of 65,000 different results. This was just the first one. Small business property tax reductions and growth from the Small Business Economics Journal. Okay, now that one does happen to be a business journal. But as I go down the list of the whole 65,000 results there, it'll be from all majors. I might get an article about from a sociology journal about the the crippling effect of on small family businesses of taxes, and how that affects the sociology of family-run businesses. Or I may get one from a an art journal about how art galleries that are small business art galleries are being affected by taxes and how it is affecting the art scene. So it might be from an art journal. So you can see one search will pull up articles, but it's a lot broader scope because it searches all of our databases of all majors all at once. It's one-stop shopping. Now, some students say like, well, wow, that's great. I should do one-stop shopping because I'll get more bang for my buck, right? Well, yeah, yes and no. Yes, you'll get more, but sometimes more is not necessarily better because you're gonna have to slosh through a whole bunch of junk. If you're a history student and you only want history majors, you don't want to have to slosh through chemistry journals, computer science journals, kinesiology journals, and articles from those. Okay, so that brings us to our next way to find, Amy, if you will. Ta-da! Databases. Okay, so Amy, go back 2 slides, back to our home page. Yep, see down, remember? Down in the bottom, remember? I pointed out that's the other way of finding articles. You click on the little icon called databases. Okay, so now we get to the databases. Yep, there we go. So databases, the difference is these are specific just to your major. So instead of searching all majors all at once, a psychology database or a political science database or a history database or a electrical engineering database just focuses on articles from those specific disciplines or majors only. So if you're a psych major, you go into APA Psych Info, that's the psychology database, and you type in phobias, neurosis, and children. It will bring up like 574 articles, but they're all only just from psychology and related journals. Okay, like counseling journals, psychiatry journals, psychology journals. Yeah, just the field of psychology. So you don't have to slosh through thousands of other articles from other majors. Okay? Okay, Amy, let's go on to the next slide. Now, by the way, I wanted to point out something. If your full text of your article, okay, because you'll get full text articles from either way, from either one search or from the individual databases. But sometimes you won't. You'll just get the abstract only. So if your full text isn't available immediately, don't worry about it. All you do is you click on one of these buttons. Now the buttons will look different according to from database to database. They'll vary what they look like. But I circled what some of the buttons look like. One is a green button that says full text options. One's a blue button called find it. Another light blue button called access the options. No matter what the button looks like, click the button and then that will take you to our interlibrary loan request page. You can then request the full text of the article and it will be electronically delivered to you. It will be emailed to you within 24 to 48 hours. Because that means our library doesn't have the journal here, but we'll get it from one of our partner libraries. It could be Cal State Long Beach, it could be UCI, it could be UCLA, it could be Cal State Northridge, wherever. We'll get it from them, they'll scan it, and then they'll email it to you. Okay, so down at the bottom I wrote, never pay for articles at these commercial websites. I hear these stories about students said, yeah, our library didn't have it. So I went on to the publisher's website and they wanted $29.99 for the article. So I paid for it. No, don't do that. No, don't do that. That's what interlibrary loan is for. It's free. Your student fees pay for you to get free articles no matter what journal. So never, never, never pay for journal articles. Okay, next. All right, now number 2. What about finding books? Yes, we have them. We have books in our library. We have over 1 million books in our Cal State Fullerton Library. We are, like I said, one of the biggest, if not the biggest, Cal State library of all 23 Cal State campuses. You can see in the photo there, this is one of the floors of our books, and we have a lot of books. So how do you find books? It's the same thing that I just showed you. Remember OneSearch? I said you go there to look up articles. Yeah, that's actually the reason it's called OneSearch. Because not only can you use it for looking up articles, but you can use it for looking up books too. Amy, if you could go backwards, can you go back? And one more. Okay, oh, sorry, one more. Okay, see there on the OneSearch screen? Look at those circles on the top of the OneSearch screen. See those circles? The one that I selected there for this example of finding articles, I clicked the circle that says articles. But look to the next one right next to it. Books. Okay, books and media. That's books and ebooks in our Cal State Fullerton Library. Exactly. If you click that, then it'll look up and find you books and ebooks. Okay, go forward, Amy. Back to our books. Yeah. So when you search, back. So when you search books, it is both books and ebooks. Oh, by the way, I just want to let you know, we, the librarians, we're the ones who buy new books each year, and we're buying so many ebooks each year. Thousands and thousands of ebooks. Now, I'm a old school. I like the smell of a new book, that new book smell, kind of like new car smell, right? I like print books, but I have to admit the convenience of ebooks, yeah, it's convenient. When you get an ebook, you don't even have to come to the library. You can read the ebook 24/7. You just click, open up your ebook, and then you can read it anytime, 24, 3 o'clock in the morning. You can read it, and you don't even when the library is closed. So we have millions and millions of ebooks in our library collection. By the way, if there's any, same thing about interlibrary loan, if there's any book, let's say you have a professor and you're in a computer science class, and your professor says, "Yeah, you really should read this latest book about the joy of Python, okay, Python programming," and you go in type it in, the joy of Python, and we don't have it. Yeah, no problem. Just go ahead and click on the interlibrary loan request page, type in the book that you want, and then we'll get it for you from another library, and we'll have it shipped here within a day or two. Okay, Amy, next page. Okay, number 3. The third thing I wanted to tell you about our library is major specific help. Okay, so we, the librarians, all of us, the librarians, we all are specialists for every single major. Yep, believe it or not, that is true. We have a librarian for every major. Now, some of us double up. Like for me, I double up or quadruple up for the College of Communication. So you can see right there that major specific library guide is by me. That I'm the communications. I'm also the human comm. I'm also the cinema and TV specialist. So many of us librarians, we double, triple, or quadruple up on several majors. Right below there, you can see that guide is by Rob Sage. He's my colleague. He's the business librarian. He also quadruples up. He's the business librarian, he's the marketing librarian, he's the accounting librarian, and he's the finance librarian. Okay, so we have made special library guides, online guides, and then there at the home page, you can see there, Amy, if you can take your mouse and wiggle over where I've circled in red. Yep, you can see right there, that menu item says library guides, research guides. Exactly. If you click on that, it will give you an alphabetical list of all the majors at Cal State Fullerton. Just click your major, and then it'll pull up the librarian and his or her guide. See the one there over on the far right? Uh-huh. Yeah, that's the art library guide. And that's Kelly. Kelly is our art librarian. She also quadruples up. She's our art librarian, our theater and dance librarian, and our music librarian. Okay. Okay, so remember, if you need specialized help for your major, just click on the library guides, and then we've made special guides for you. Okay, next. All right, now there's a lot of other really cool things at the library's homepage. I circled them all up on the top bar. Amy, if you could wiggle your mouse there. Yep. There are a whole bunch of other menu items, and it's just a lot of other miscellaneous things that, as graduate students, you're going to really, really like. So, for example, the first page you see there is Citations Guide. We made a citations guide to give you all the inside tips on citing your sources. Okay, so do you use APA style? Are you going to use MLA style? Are you going to use Chicago style? Or if you're in the sciences, you'll use a completely different one, like the biology, chemistry, computer science, engineering. You guys have your own citation styles. Right, so we made guides that show you how to cite or list all your sources when you're doing writing a research paper. We also, there you can see that bottom menu is booking a study room. Yeah, we have a lot of private and group study rooms in our library. So you can get together with some of your classmates in a group or a team, and you can reserve a private study room in our library for you guys to come with a whiteboard and a computer monitor and a projector, so you guys can practice some PowerPoint presentations. So you can reserve those at the library's homepage. Just go to the library's homepage. It's that one that Amy, wiggle your mouse with the big red circle there. And up on the top menu, you'll find reserve a room on using the library. And then that's how you can reserve rooms. So there's a lot of really other cool features on the library's homepage. Okay, next. Librarians! I already mentioned to you that we librarians are all specialists for you, and we are. So librarians are here to help you. So there's lots of different ways that we can help you. So Amy, and you're going to click one at a time, and I'm going to discuss all the ways we can help you. So I think just advance. There we go. So one way is you can visit us in person. So this big, huge donut desk, this round circular desk, like a big donut, this is our in-person librarian's desk. We call it the research center of the library. It's like the heart of the library. This is where you can come and you can get walk-up help with any of us. Now, you don't have to get help from just your specialist. Like I'm the communications librarian, but if you are on campus and you need some immediate help and I'm not available, yeah, you can walk up all of the librarians. Even if that librarian right there in the photo, she happens to be our environmental science and criminal justice librarian. But if you're a comm or you're a computer science or you're biology, she can still help you because all of us librarians are familiar with all of the resources. So next one, Amy, if you can click again, chat. Ooh, this one's super cool. You can chat with us, the librarians, 24 hours a day. Yeah, I'm not kidding. 24 hours a day. So you might think like, wait, how is that possible? Okay, I'll explain. During the daytime, us, the full-time subject specialists for all majors, all of us are here, all during the daytimes, every day, Monday through Friday. But what about nights? Okay, well, yeah, we have to go home and sleep too, you know. So we hire a night librarian service to stay awake and keep monitoring the chat window, even at like 1 o'clock in the morning. We have a night librarian that's on duty, and this is a real human librarian, not a chatbot, not AI, not a call center overseas. It's a real Cal State Fullerton specialist librarian that can answer research questions. Okay, next, Amy. Email, yes, at our website there, which is at the bottom. That's the URL right there. We also have an email, and you can email your questions in if that works better for you. Okay, next. And we even have a phone, a dedicated phone right there at the donut desk where Joy, the lady, is sitting there that you can call in. So if you're a graduate student and you don't live near campus, let's say you live down in South County, down in San Juan Capistrano, or down in Laguna Niguel, and you don't get to campus very often, except maybe just once for your class days, then yeah, you can call us and talk to us by phone if you're not here in person, or the chat option. Okay, Amy, one more. And research consultations. Remember, I mentioned all of the librarians who are subject specialists for your major. The chemistry librarian, the kinesiology librarian, the theater librarian, yeah, business librarian. Right. You can set up a one-on-one research consultation with your librarian specialist. That's kind of like office hours with your professor. We, the librarians, we also do office hours, and we can have research where we can sit down with you and go over. If you're doing a literature review, let's say you're a political science major or a history major, and you're doing a literature review for, the Cold War era of the 1950s and 60s, and you're trying to find some scholarly articles about that, the Red Scare of the Cold War era, and you're having trouble finding them. Yeah, make an appointment with our history librarian or political science librarian, and then she can go over with you all of the details. Okay, next. So, speaking of the library specialists, here we all are. You can see this little checkerboard. This is all of us. So from John up in the upper right corner, John, that's John. He's our English and literature librarian, all the way down to Rachel on the bottom right, who's our education librarian. And she's also multiple of education: secondary ed, elementary ed, special ed, reading ed, and doctoral ed. And all of us in between, we're all specialists in all of your different majors. So you can go to our guides. There's the address right there. That's the same one that I showed you earlier, where you just click on it, where it says research guides. And then that will take you to your specialists, librarians. Okay, I think this might be the last page. Is it? Go ahead and click next. Yeah, that was it. So, any questions for me about the library? Otherwise, I'll turn it back over to Amy and for general questions.
Thank you so much, John. I think we've caught up to our questions so far, but one just came in. Let's see. There was something about a Philip K. There's another question. How do we get our library cards?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can answer that. You may have heard somebody else mention about your Titan card, which is your student ID. Well, guess what? Your Titan card is your library card. Yeah, you don't have to have a separate library card. It's one card fits all. So when you come into campus to get your Titan card, and guess what? Coincidentally, the Titan card window is in the library. So how convenient. Yeah, that's perfect. So when you get your Titan card, yeah, it'll be activated, and that is your library card.
Thank you so much. I don't see any other questions. I think we've caught up at this point, and we've finished our presentations for Office of Grad Studies, our CAPS information, and librarian. Are there any last questions? We still have a few minutes for tonight's orientation. Are there any last minute questions? Okay, I see one. Are books free to rent for the semester?
Okay, so let me explain about the word rent, because I hear a lot of students use that word, and I want to clarify that because that's a common word that students use. Okay, so as you guys probably know, the word rent usually means you have to pay for something. So I want to make it absolutely clear. Library books are never rented. You borrow them for free. Yeah, library books are always free. Free, 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 free. Now, if you're talking about your textbooks, that you get from the bookstore, okay, your assigned course textbooks that your professor assigns that you use for your studying, then yeah, the bookstore does have rent or buy options. You can buy your textbook or you can rent your textbook. But library materials, library books are no charge, ever, ever, ever. Always free. That your student fees are paid for that.
Thank
So I
you,
hope that
John.
clarifies.
There
Oh,
is,
I see the other question there,
oh,
Amy, because that's
thank
also
you.
in the library. That's a library service also.
Okay.
Somebody, Karen typed in, I don't have a laptop at the moment. Are there computer loans? Yes, absolutely. That's one of the other cool features in the library. Um, in the library, we share a lot of desks, service desks in the library with IT, information technology, the Cal State Fullerton IT division. They have a lot of service desks in the library because they're kind of our partners in the library. And one of their service desks is the laptop checkout service desk. It's called the Student Genius Center. Yep, they lend out laptops completely free, no charge. You have to sign a contract, for responsibility, because if you lose it or drop it, then yes, you will be responsible for it, of course. But yeah, but there's no rental charge. That is something that is provided by Cal State Fullerton for free.
And one additional question, John. This is from a student who was an undergrad with us previously, and he was curious if the Philip K. Dick Papers collection is still available in the
Okay.
library.
Yeah, thank you. Good question. So he's referring to one of our wonderful special archive collections. Now, in just the short 10 minutes I had, I didn't have time to go in and talk about every wonderful thing that we have in our library. But we do. We do. As he mentioned, we have an archives and special collections section of our library, and they have amazing collections, like comic book collections, ancient manuscripts collections, uh, yeah, so many things. And the Philip K. Dick is a uh, collection of science fiction and mystery novels from, yeah, like the Dune collection. You saw the Dune movies. We have those original manuscripts. We have some Star Trek original scripts and manuscripts. Oh, we have so many cool things. So yes, we do still have that collection and many, many more in our archives of the library.
Thank you, John. And Kenton wanted to say thank you. They've been working on a summer assignment, and the resources the library has provided have been very helpful.
Somebody else mentioned about the hours of operation. The hours are always posted on our library's homepage that I showed you. Um, but just off the top of my head, I can tell you that Monday through Thursday, we're open till midnight. Every night, midnight. So I know a lot of you as graduate students will be taking night classes. That's more common for graduate students. So that's wonderful for you because if you take your night class from say 7 to 9:45, you still could hop over to the library and get some books or materials because we're open all the way till midnight. Now, weekends are less. I think it's just till 6 p.m. on Friday, Saturdays, and Sundays. But yeah, Monday through Thursday, you bet. We're open till midnight.
That's awesome. And I think the question about buying or renting regular course books, I believe that's been answered, but I don't know if you want to share anything related to that, John. Or are
Uh,
those books available in the library?
great question. So here's the thing. Uh, when you come to campus and go to your classes, your professors will say, okay, here's your required textbook that you have to go buy or rent. Come to the library or go on the library and OneSearch. Remember OneSearch? I showed you how to look up books. Type in the title of your textbook and you can check to see if we have your textbook as a free library book or library ebook. Now, do we have every single textbook as a free library book? No, no, we don't. We don't. I know some in the community colleges do. That's a mission of the community college to have every single textbook in the community college library. Well, we can't do that. It would be impossible. It's not sustainable because we are so much bigger than a community college. There's thousands and thousands of classes that all have textbooks or multiple textbooks. So there's no way that we could possibly buy every single textbook for the library. We can't. But many of the textbooks we do. We do buy. So it just depends. So do we have your textbook in the library? We may. You just need to check. You can check with us, you can email us, you can call us, you can stop by and ask, or you can look it up yourself on OneSearch. If we do, especially if it's an ebook, great. You don't have to go buy that $99 textbook. It's free as an ebook 24 hours a day in the library ebook collection. But if we don't have it, then yeah, you got to go to the bookstore and you got to buy it.
Thank you, John. I think that is all of our questions. Just one that popped in. Is there a WhatsApp group for all incoming students? There isn't for the entire campus. There might be some social media platforms or other ways to stay in touch with your particular program group, but I'm sure that will be shared once you go through your orientation or your first couple of days of the semester. Oh, there was one question that came back, John, in terms of ebooks. Can multiple folks have check out an ebook at once, or is it like a physical book where only one person can have it at a time?
Oh, wow, that's great. Yeah, these are amazing questions. These are much more advanced level questions than I get when I do with freshmen. So I can tell I'm talking to graduate students. So the answer to that question is it depends. We buy ebooks on a purchase license from the publisher that depends on the number of users. So we can buy a unlimited users license. So as many people can click on that book concurrently, I mean, at the same time, as unlimited. So a whole class of 30, 40, 50, 100 students could all be clicking on reading that book all concurrently at the same time, no problem. Other ebooks, the license that the vendor or the publisher sells us is only a 3-person license. So only 3 people can concurrently at the same time. If a 4th person tries to click on that ebook, they'll get a message saying, sorry, the maximum number of people are currently reading this book right now. Please wait and come back and read it a little bit later. And then there are occasionally the publisher will only sell us a 1-person at a time license. And that's the worst one of all. I mean, only 1 person can be reading it. And then you try to, and you'll get that same message. Like, sorry, the other person is reading it right now. Wait and come back and read it later. So you just go fix yourself a sandwich and then come back another hour later and then you'll get in. So yeah, that's the answer. It depends.
Thank you so much, John. And believe it or not, it's already 5:30, everyone. Thank you so much to our Office of Grad Studies team, to Annie from CAPS, and to John from our library. And thank you all for being here. I know you're very busy folks and probably anxiously anticipating fall, and this was a lot of information. But as a reminder, we will share a recording of our session with you tonight. It will be available on our website. And please, let me actually go to our last slide here. Reach out to us if you have any questions. We are here to support you among the many other people here at Cal State Fullerton. But welcome again to our campus. Get lots of rest, enjoy the rest of your summer, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks. Thank you for attending. Good night, everyone.